up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, and here in the studio with me is...
I am your other host, JJ Purdom. We are just days away from the 4th of July. And then, of course, there was an earthquake just recently. Garrett, I don't know if you were aware. It wasn't actually an earthquake. I had illegal mortars at my house, and I set those suckers off a little bit late.
The way you said days away from 4th of July made me think like we're coming up on it, but I hope you realize that was last week. Like, you missed it. We actually had the day off of work. Did you go to work?
Oh, farts.
I mean, I guess you got overtime pay. You get vacation pay.
I don't know.
It's also a paid holiday, so whether you worked or not, you would have gotten.
So you're saying I might have gotten double pay?
Maybe. You never know.
Man, I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Oh, jeez.
Now, there was like a 7.1 earthquake in Ridgecrest.
Well, there's one. There was a 6.9 on 4th of July.
No, that was the mortars. Sorry about that.
Oh, that was the mortars. And then the next day, there was a 7.1 in the same place. So I didn't feel the one 4th of July. Didn't even know one happened. I had some friends back in New York. Some family friends. That's why I got confused with the word family in there. Family friends. New York texted me like, "Are you okay? What's going on? Are you dead? Like, why aren't you responding?" They texted me like 9 in the morning.
Oh, God.
I didn't respond until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, yeah, everything's cool. 4th of July was great. How was yours? And they're like, Garrett, don't freak me out like that. Blah, blah. Like, why didn't you answer me sooner? I thought you were dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I had no idea. We don't have TV with news. Like, we don't have like cable TV. We don't have news. I don't check the news. So I had no idea there's an earthquake. And then they're like, there was an earthquake. I wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm so worried all day, worried sick, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I had no idea what you're talking about. They're like, stop messing with me. Stop joking. This isn't funny. I'm like, no. I'm not screwing right now. Like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, she was pretty upset at me, but... Right,
legitimately, you and I both are the same way. We do not look at regular news. The only time we get news is from Polygon or IGN.
Exactly. And so Kotaku. Shout out to Jason Schreier.
Like, they're not talking about
video games or
movies.
And, yeah, and then, but then the next day, so the one that happened the next evening, we were sitting on the couch watching some Stranger Things season 3, my wife and I, and then we're like, oh, like something happened in the show. So at first we're like, oh, that was a weird, like equilibrium type thing.
Man, Netflix is getting so good.
So I think it was something,
reaching into the living rooms
I think it was something too where like 11 like did something, like there's a big force or something. And so I was like, oh, whoa, that was super weird. Like we're feeling it. And then it was like, we both looked at each other. And my wife's like, I still feel it. Is that an earthquake? And then we looked up at our lamp. We have like a lamp that hangs from a hook on our ceiling. And it was like literally like shaking around in our living room. And
That's
like,
so interesting. I saw nothing. I felt nothing. That's so weird that people are saying that. For you guys that don't know, we live here in California. And for all of you people that think like, oh my gosh, they got to like deal with these things all the time.
It's been like 10 years since the last one, right? Or something? Like that's everyone's like, it hasn't happened for like 10 years. And then this is the biggest one that's happened in like forever.
They happen every so often, but they're normally so small. Like we don't feel them. They don't, where we are, we're in Northern California.
That's the other thing. This one hit like 3 or 4 hours south of us. Like it's quite a ways away.
So yeah, we just don't really feel it. But I know a lot of people, I have family from Arkansas and Texas, and they always say like, dude, cousin JJ, you out there with all them darn earthquakes
wildfires.
Dude, I ain't never gonna try to live over there. Y'all can have your Hollywood all you want, cousin. I ain't gonna deal with any of that earthquake, and that's the Lord trying to come after all you heathens. And the thing is maybe it is. Maybe it is. But we don't actually deal with the earthquake. So when it does happen, we're even caught off guard. Like, what was that?
It's a little strange. Yeah, the biggest adjustment to moving out here was, all the family constantly texting, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, everything tends to happen in Southern California. Like, there'll be like landslides when they get lots of rain. There's wildfires. There's earthquakes. And I'm just like, no, we're cool up here in the NorCal, baby. Like, we're fine. Like, nothing happening up here. But, no, we do get some of that wildfire smoke, though. Like, was it last year? When Yosemite was basically like on entire mountain range up north.
Was that what that smoke was? See, I was under the impression that was CBD smoke. That's what I was told with the THC in it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it definitely made you feel a little weird. That's right.
That's true.
It was not. It was not, in fact, weed smoke.
We were all roasting marshmallows over it and doing little s'mores action.
It was, in fact, a wildfire burning down half of our state.
Don't make jokes about that, Garrett.
I remember that we were wearing masks like all day. Like you had to go outside with a respirator because the air quality was so bad. If you're outside for more than like 10 minutes without a respirator, it's like, oh, you have lung cancer. It's just like guaranteed.
There was absolutely a couple of days that were bad that we were wearing the mask, and there was one day in particular that we just couldn't do it. That it was hard even through the mask to breathe outside. And
it's insane. California, man.
it made me feel like a super sissy to say like I got a tap. I don't think I can do this.
I started getting sick, and I think I called you. I'm like, dude, I can't do it anymore. Let's call out. And you're like, no, it's fine. I'm like, how you feeling? You're like, not great.
Like total crap.
I'm like, no, I'm calling John right now. We're canceling.
Yeah, but I got that crazy guilt where I'm like, no, I gotta stick it through.
So you'd rather stick it out and then like die like 10 years sooner than you normally would.
You have no idea how pathetic I am, Garrett. I mean, you do kind of have an idea, but
I know exactly how pathetic you are.
Thanks, buddy.
Alrighty, guys. Well, let's before we get into the fun stuff here, let's get into the even more fun stuff.
Oh, there is nothing but fun happening here. Are you guys ready to have fun? Well, I don't see there being anything more fun than supporting us on Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can go over there and support us.
Hashtag fun. Hashtag yeah. Hashtag awesome.
Yeah, we need to work on your hashtags.
I'm really good at
that. No, go over there, and we have different tiers you can support us at that get you guys some fun perks and also help us keep this show running, with all the good content you want to hear about. So
we'll come to your house and milk your cat.
Well, JJ will. He's better at that than me, apparently, because I didn't know that was a thing. So JJ will come milk your cat for you.
I've done it twice. There's a move you do with their teeth.
Okay. You can also support us like our Patreon producer, Matt Liu, and he gets a shout out on every episode, as well as, pitching us a segment that we do regularly called Losing Reviews. You may know it. It's now becoming our Nicolas Cage review.
The Nick Cage review.
He doesn't know that yet. Matt doesn't know that yet, but he pitched the segment. And he's been giving us a list of movies. So the next time I reach out for a losing review movie, I'm going to tell him, make sure it has Nicolas Cage in it, because that's the new criteria.
Nick Cage just makes everything better.
In moderation. No, like anything.
That's why we can only do it once a month, because our wives would leave us.
They can only handle the Cage.
There's only so much Nick Cage you can totally take.
Also, shout out to our Patreon sponsor, Bill Bird. We still have his name up in lights here. Sorry we haven't posted a picture of that, Bill. It's really here, I promise you.
I have a camera that doesn't work so well on my phone, Bill, or I totally would.
Yeah, yeah, if you want to shout out like those guys, check out our producer and sponsor level over there at patreon.com/supergamerboys.
And Bill has really nice legs, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen, but he wears a hula skirt occasionally at some of our company Christmas parties. We've had company Christmas parties as Thanksgiving because my boss is dyslexic. But we have had so much fun, and he's actually got some great hula game. Like he is.
I've missed that. That must happen after I leave, because I tend to leave right before everyone gets a little too crazy, a little wild. I have a little too much of the drinks.
If you kick down with a little bit of the CBD oil, you might just see exactly what I was describing.
You're going a little too hard on it. I don't know. That's like all you talk about anymore. I think we need to
intervention.
We need to find you a new hobby or something, because that's like all you're repping nowadays. I know it's legal here in California, and
we service a dispensary, man, and the thing is we get discounts.
Do we?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know that
I was
for sure.
like, well, in that case, let's go there right now. Or how late are they open?
Hey, legitimately though, without joking around, the kid who is the manager there used to work with me at the lumberyard. God, I hope nobody who I know listens to this, but she was not a very good employee at the place where I worked with her at. She was the kind of employee who always had her phone in her hand, who would literally ignore customers and was rude, and then eventually got let go. And then eventually I saw her when we were servicing.
So it's kind of like you a little bit, what you've become.
Well, like identical. Like pretty much identical.
All the time.
All the time.
Even while we're recording the podcast sometimes.
I said, I'm sorry. And occasionally, like, I met the kid at the dispensary, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the manager here now." And like, I literally laughed out loud because I'm like, I couldn't see her managing anything. But then I thought, well, it is a pot place,
Yeah.
so that kind of makes sense.
There's probably like just a completely different bar set for what a manager needs to be there. And I mean, if that's your passion, that's your thing. That's all it takes.
I'm really good at getting the munchies. I'm really good at eating a
Like,
lot.
good at that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. What do you say we get into the nerdy nudes?
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Okay, that blew my eardrums out.
Edit that in post.
Speaking of nerdy nudes here, I forgot to show you. I got some cool sticker designs from my cousin Star. From we shouted her out every
the pasties. You got the pasties in.
We shout her out every show. Ground Floor Graphics there. She has designed some cool stickers for our cars and water bottles and laptops, not pasties.
Dude,
but
that's awesome.
Like, because I sent her a couple ideas. I'm like, yeah, the game cartridge logo, or just our name, like, because I'm basic. I'm so basic. I'm just such a dummy. And then she came back with all this like awesome stuff. Like, she made a hashtag nerdy nudes like sticker and like this cool font and stuff. She made a logo. She made a bunch of stuff. I don't want to spoil it all here because it may not be final designs and stuff, but
Star Andrews is hashtag awesome.
I'm legit stoked to see. She's trying to figure out right now how to mass produce some stuff, because right now I think she had to hand cut all the stickers with like an X-Acto knife. I'm like, I'm planning on selling about 10,000 of these, so you need to figure out how to mass produce this, because you're not going to hand cut 10,000 stickers.
He's gonna have paper cuts and like be all jacked up. Hands are arthritic.
But I can't wait to have that hashtag nerdy nudes and blazing across my laptop or something. People really ask questions about that one.
It's a bit on a podcast.
My podcast.
Oh yeah, you have a podcast, guy. I can really see that.
Cool. Well, the first story here, JJ. This one is probably hits very near and dear to your heart.
I don't think that's an understatement, buddy, because I am passionate about this.
Here we go. Game Freak responds to fan anger over Pokemon Sword and Shield's limited Pokedex.
Look, the nerds get nerdier. How does this happen, Garrett? How is this a possibility? Okay, I get it. There's a lot of people who love Pokemon. All four of you. You guys love this stuff, and
There's 5 of us. Thank you very much.
I haven't been to any of your meetings, so I'm not really sure. But so look. Pokemon's popular. It's extremely popular with a certain age group.
Extremely popular.
Your age group, whatever. I don't understand the anger, like the nerd anger that comes out from this. Nerd anger is probably like the most fun of all angers, because it's a bunch of nerds getting angry
about something that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, who really cares? Is that really something you would like throw your pocket protector on the ground and get all pissed off and break your pen and just be like, oh, every time I turn around, you guys do this to me. You have to have the Pokedex or whatever. I can't even do it. You got to have it. You can't jack this up, fools. And I love it when they use like vernacular, this like street vernacular, so it doesn't really fit when nerds say it. Like, oh, they say things that they try to be urban.
Okay.
It's the most amazing smack talk I've ever heard, is nerds trying to be urban.
Okay.
I'll bust a cap, foolie.
Okay. So the story here, let's actually get into it here. This comes from Michael McWhirter over at Polygon.
Where we get all of our nudes.
A lot of it. I like Polygon. I do like Polygon. They do good stuff. So the news here is, a few weeks back, Game Freak came out and basically announced that they were going to limit the amount of Pokemon that can be transferred into the game. There's going to be a limited Pokédex, basically limited to just Pokemon from the Galar region, which is the region that you'll be playing in the new game, Sword and Shield. So it'll be all those new Pokemon plus maybe a very small amount of like classic Pokemon. Like obviously in the trailer we've already seen like Pikachu, and off the top of my head, I haven't watched the trailer enough, but there's like 2 or 3 or 4. There's a few, like a handful of classic Pokemon that will be in there. But other than that, all the other like 800 Pokemon that exist will not be transferable over to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And fans lost their minds. They're like, I've been collecting these guys for years. I've been transferring them to the Pokemon Bank. I was going to transfer them from there to the new game, blah, blah, blah. It was, I don't care about this because I haven't been playing Pokemon games for the last 10 years.
Are you passionate about, do you care?
So if I had been playing Pokemon games the last 10 years and transferring Pokemon into my Pokemon Bank, I think I'd be more upset. But because I haven't played a Pokemon game since like the Game Boy Advance, like I've missed the whole DS and 3DS era of Pokemon games. I'm just like, it's like the Pokemon Bank wasn't a thing back then because Game Boys didn't have internet like the DS and 3DS does. So this doesn't really bother me that much, especially since Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee just came out last year as well. But yeah, basically people are up in arms about not being able to transfer all 800 of their Pokemon over the new game. Well, after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, basically once everything kind of calmed down, everyone kind of was just like, whatever about it, moved on with their lives. Game Freak decided to come out and make a statement about it. Which is like, okay, everything was cool, and now you're going to like kind of rekindle the fire here.
Game Freak walked over basically and then kicked a big old foot of sand into the face of all nerds who got like upset and butthurt.
Yeah, so basically they came out and they said, thank you to all the fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've read all of your comments and appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon, and each and every one of them is very important to us. After so many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. He talks as if it was actually like his sole decision. I wonder, like, that's funny. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Shield, that does not mean it will not appear in a future game. So not Pokemon Sword and Shield. The world of Pokemon continues to evolve. The Galar region offers new Pokemon to encounter, trainers to battle, and adventures to embark on. We are pouring our hearts into these games, and we hope you will look forward to joining us on this new journey. So it was like about 3 paragraphs of nothing, basically. Basically saying like, yep, they're still not coming to the new Pokemon game, but you might see them later on.
You could have let like the nerd sweat like settle. You could have let it just kind of like chill. But you had to come in and go like, hey, it's still not going to happen, guys.
It's still not, sorry.
So, yeah, sorry about that. And like, hey, maybe at some point in the future, you silly nerds might be able to play your little game, you know? But I mean, it's going to keep getting bigger and better. But we're not going to do the thing you guys want, you know? So I just see that as like kicking the dirt in the face of all the nerds. Just be like, hey, guys, I know you guys were kind of getting over that whole thing, but I just want to come kick a little bit of dirt in your face.
It's just like rubbing salt in the wound.
I just love it.
It wasn't quite healed all the way. Just
it
burns.
It was just scabbing over. Why are you pulling the scab? You know?
Yeah, no. I was just like I said, I'm not too bummed about this because I didn't have anything from my Pokemon Bank to transfer over. But I was just like, I don't know. It was still it was a big deal in the news. I was like, we have to cover this, and I do love me some Pokemon.
You know, there's like 2 people who play Pokemon who have like the bank stuff that are listening right now on the pod, and they're going like, this nerd, he doesn't even have anything in the bank. Fake gamer. You probably don't even finish games.
But does anyone really finish games? That's my question to you listeners.
Pretty much everybody finishes games, Garrett.
What's the last game you finished?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, okay, before that.
Resident Evil 7.
But did you though?
No, I did.
Okay. Well,
are you serious? Man, I finished me some games. I'm really good.
I finished lots of games too. I just feel like you tend to focus on all the games I don't finish. That's the problem with this podcast.
I think that is the problem.
I finish a lot of games. You just tend to focus on the ones I don't.
Because you finish the unimportant ones that nobody cares about.
Yeah, like God of War and Spider-Man and Resident Evil 2.
Did you really finish Spider-Man? I think that's up for like debate. I don't to me. No, don't. I'm telling. I think it's up for debate. I think that you're lying.
I think you're up for debate.
I was actually the president of debate.
It's up for debate whether or not you should be my co-host anymore.
I think there's no debating that. You probably should find somebody much more qualified than me.
Okay, you said it. Okay. You hear
but
that,
I ask
everyone,
you not to. But I ask you not to.
Send your resumes into Garrett@supergamerboys.com. I'll be looking over those over the next couple of weeks.
And here's the thing. If even one of you send in a resume right now to try to get the job that I have, I will find you. I will find you. And I'll probably shake your hand and wish you good luck. That wasn't like a threat.
Right. Alrighty, the next news story here comes from IGN. Matt Purslow over there. There's not necessarily a lot of news. There's not a lot of article to this news, I should say. There's literally like 2 quick paragraphs, but I think it'd be fun to talk about and speculate a little bit because this has never happened before. Headline here: Sony pulled PES 2019 from PS Plus, not Konami. So for those who didn't know the news previously, because I forgot to announce it last week on the show, since we record on Monday, and I don't think this happened until it was probably would have happened right before we recorded or something. But originally, PlayStation Plus games for July were supposed to be PES 2019, which is a soccer game, and then I don't know why I don't have it here in front of me, but I do. I'm a dummy. Horizon Chase Turbo, which is like an arcade racing game made by like a smaller studio or something. Both okay games. A lot of people have said, yeah, Horizon Chase Turbo is a fun party game, like to do with some buddies, couch co-op stuff. It's not a AAA game though. And then PES 2019, it's one of those games where like if you were going to play the game, you probably already bought it because it came out last year. And if you weren't going to play the game, you don't care, like you weren't planning on buying it. Like it's one of those things where like you either were planning on getting it and got it, or you weren't planning on getting it and you'll never want to play it and who cares. So people were pretty up in arms about the announcement originally. Last Monday, I believe it was, like very last minute, literally the day before all the PlayStation Plus games went live last Tuesday, PlayStation blog came out and said, hey, we're switching things up. We're pulling PES 2019, which stands for Pro Evolution Soccer, for those who don't know what PES stands for. And we're instead of replacing it with Detroit Become Human. And not just the base game. They actually did the the special digital deluxe edition. So it came with the digital soundtrack. It came with an art book that was digital. It also came with another game. So technically we got 3 free games because we got Horizon Chase Turbo, we got Detroit Become Human, and Detroit Become Human came with Heavy Rain, which was another game that was made by the same company as Detroit, but it came out like 10 years ago or something now. So it's an older game, but...
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because when I downloaded Detroit Become Human, because I have the PS Plus, and I downloaded it, and I got to tell you, I was so excited because I heard the soccer game was coming out, and I was like... That was a sound effect, by the way. I did not give 2 rat pieces of poo. But then when I heard that they were switching it to Detroit Become Human, I got excited. And then I saw when I was downloading it, that all of a sudden Heavy Rain was going. I'm like, whoa, where did I hit that? I don't understand. I didn't know.
No, it's because, which is unheard of. Usually when they give away a free game, they just give you the base game, like just the basic version. This one, they gave away the digital deluxe edition that came with a free copy of Heavy Rain, so which is kind of cool. I've never played it. It was a classic back in the day. Like I think it's one of those like kind of cult classic. Like there's a lot of people who like really love it, but then there's a lot of people who just like whatever about it.
Wasn't Heavy Rain one of the PS Plus games last year?
Beyond Two Souls, which is also another Quantic Dreams game, the same company. So in a year, because I think that was just like last fall, so in less than a year, we've gotten pretty much the 3 most popular Quantic Dream games there. But anyway, so yeah, that was just a huge deal. No one knew what happened. It just kind of happened. Everyone's like, okay, this has never happened before. Why is this happening? What's going on? So this is the article now, getting to the actual article, basically from a statement from Konami, saying this decision was made by Sony Interactive Entertainment, and so please make inquiry to SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Eurogamer posed the question to Sony, trying to figure out, okay, like who pulled the game, and Sony has offered no details of what was going on. So basically, there's not really any news here other than, because originally people were thinking, well, was there something wrong on Konami's end? Did they pull it for some weird reason? Like, was there like a weird rights thing? But now it's like, oh, Sony did it. Like, so I just want to kind of speculate here, kind of, go back and forth and see what your idea might be, or our ideas might be with why this happened, because it's just very strange, unheard of kind of.
Yeah,
event,
they did
so,
literally the night before.
Yeah.
So it tells me one of two things. Either they heard all of the flack, which there really was a lot. A lot of people were crapping all over and they decided to make an about face and go, okay, maybe
they pull a Sonic.
Pretty much. I mean, okay, we've heard all the bad stuff. Maybe we were going to try Detroit Become Human next month, and let's just go ahead and expedite that and put it forward right now, because this is going to make them happy. I think it was the right move. The other
I
option,
definitely think it was a great move, but yeah, it just seems like a bizarre move. Like, it's so last minute, because like in what you just said there, that makes sense. Like, maybe it was for next month or the month after. And because
I said something that made sense.
Yeah. Well,
it was an accident.
Because if it was one of those things where it was just a last minute decision, and like they couldn't have just pulled this out of thin air. There's no way they could have just been like, quick, sign this paperwork so we can like put it on PlayStation Plus. Obviously, it was something already in the pipeline that they just decided to expedite for some whatever reason. And so I think you're right about it was probably going to be in the next couple months anyways. But it still doesn't explain like why, like other than like, okay, it could have been the public outrage thing, but Sony isn't they usually don't bend to it. I know they don't
saying.
bend to people's will very easily. Like, it took them like a year and a half, 2 years before they finally did the whole like cross-play thing. They're like, okay, I guess we'll finally give in. Like,
but you put the point perfectly. Eventually, they had to give in because they were bowing to the weight of the voice of the people that vote with their money. And so if you consistently give out a bad product with the PS Plus, the benefit is the idea, getting 2 free games a month at a value of $40 to $60 per game. So you're getting $100 to $120 value a month, right? If you're giving garbage, eventually people are going to get to a point where it's like, you know what? Why am I going to keep the PS Plus? I can have everything without paying that monthly.
Well, no, the main reason people get PS Plus though is because that's the only way to play online. If you don't play PS Plus, you can't play online with your friends.
I never get to play with any of my friends online, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not my problem. No, but that is a feature a lot of people forget about, only because I think, because with Fortnite and with Apex Legends, I don't think you have to have PlayStation Plus. There's some games that are exceptions, but if I wanted to play, I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Call of Duty online, those ones you have to have a PlayStation Plus subscription to play online. Like pretty much any other game other than Fortnite and Apex, like free-to-play stuff. So I feel like you're right. A lot of, like, to be honest, that's the main reason I subscribe to PS Plus, is because I spend $60 a year and I know I'm getting hundreds of dollars in value, like, of games. Like, I get way more, like, games than what I'm paying, essentially, whether they're good or not. And I honestly think a lot of them are pretty good. I know we were talking earlier and you're like, all these crappy indie games. I'm like, dude, I love those indie games. Like, there's so many good indie games that get added on there.
Hey, wait, your impression of me made me sound like a grizzled old butthead.
That's exactly what you sounded like when you were talking about, you were bashing the indie games so hard. You're just like, all I care about is Spider-Man.
I didn't even talk like that.
Red Dead Redemption. No. Yeah.
Now I sound like a prospector. Like, really?
I hate good games. I just want to play AAA games.
I don't remember saying I hate good games. Garrett,
the budget isn't at least $3 million. I don't want to play it.
Okay, I might have said that. That's pretty accurate.
If it doesn't have more than 300 people working on it, I don't want to play it at all.
Okay, I never said that. I'm not liking this impression of me. This is.
You can't appreciate art,
bad.
Sir. I don't know if I can do this anymore with you. This hate. You just hate art.
No, I love art.
Apparently not.
My kid just gave me a picture that she drew yesterday, and it was beautiful. I like art.
You held on to it for a whole day before putting it in a trash can?
No, I folded it immediately and shoved it in my back pocket, and then washed my pants.
No, but so the only other thing I can think of with this Konami PS Plus thing is maybe there was some weird, like, contractual thing. I wonder if there's a weird licensing thing from Well, no, because then why would Sony pull it and not Konami? I wonder if there's something like where like there's like a counter offer type thing where they're going back and forth like, okay, how much of the pie are we going to get? Because obviously every game that gets put on PS Plus, those companies get a cut of the pie of that for depending on how many downloads that gets and everything. Like the company is like Konami would still make money if Pez was on there or whatever.
There's a possibility.
I wonder if there's something where Konami was like, or PlayStation's like, you're going to get this much. And they're like, no, here's a counter offer. We're going to get this much. And then Sony's like, no, actually, you're not. Detroit, become human, you're coming in now, like subbing you in. Like, I wonder if it was something like that, where last minute they just kind of like reneged on an agreement or something. Just like, no, like Sony did, not Konami, obviously, because Konami's like, it wasn't us.
If that's the case, that's unprecedented. Nothing like that's ever happened. So it's kind of hard to tell. They're probably never going to come out with the actual truth of what happened.
Yeah, just the fact that Sony isn't coming out even and saying either, not that they have to, but they're not being transparent about it. They were just very cagey and just kind of like, this is happening. And like, nothing's wrong. Nothing's weird about this. It's like, no, there's a lot weird about this. That's what's kind of like, okay, is there what all is going on behind the scenes? I wonder if it is a more deeply seated thing than just like fan response.
Hey, Sony, I know you're listening because you're an entity.
Mr. PlayStation.
Mr. PlayStation Sony guy. This is JJ from the Super Gamer Boys. I know you've listened to the podcast before. Hey, just wanted to real quick tell you whatever your reasoning is, it's okay by us. We're fine with what you did. I mean, if you want to brush Konami under the rug, hashtag #FKonami, I mean, fine, whatever. As long as you keep giving us great games like Detroit Become Human and throwing in Heavy Rain, you're pretty good by my book, Mr. PlayStation Sony guy. You're pretty good by my book.
I just want Metal
Gear.
I
speak for all the Super Gamer Boys, by the way.
I just want Metal Gear Solid. Konami, if you're listening, please remaster Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Didn't they already do that before?
For the PlayStation 3, and they didn't like they remastered them, but they didn't like it's not a remake. I would love a remake of the originals for like PS4 or PS5.
Would you like to see the same thing that Resident Evil 2 had done?
No,
okay,
totally.
Okay.
Yeah, if they did that with Metal Gear Solid 1.
Full, redo.
I would love that. I would.
From the ground up. I'm sure you would. You're salivating as you're saying
That's one of those things where like if they did that, like as soon as I played through that game and finished it, like I would be totally fine with dying. Like just kill me. Like it can't get much better than this.
He said it here first, folks. He said it here first. You can't say more dorky stuff than that, buddy.
That's like okay, yep. Life can't get any better than a remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Garrett, we run a nerdy video game podcast, and you said the nerdiest thing that you've ever said. And that I could die right there, and I'd be totally okay with that. I'd be fine.
I love you. Everyone here knows I love me some Metal Gear. Maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I think it's an obsession.
I don't know if I've talked about this on a previous episode or not, but it's gotten to the point. I know I talked about it with my wife the other day. I was like, man, Facebook and Instagram know me way too well, like with the ads and everything. It's gotten to the point where in the last like 2 weeks, how like you'll scroll through Instagram or Facebook and like pretty much every third or fourth post is an ad. Like it's just like picture, ad, picture, ad, picture, tons of ads.
That happens all the time when I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, you don't even know what an Instagram is.
It's just space.
Anyways, it's gotten to the point where pretty much at least every other ad, sometimes it doubles up. It'll be 2 in a row, is for the new Metal Gear Solid board game that's coming out this fall or this winter. I'm like, if it wasn't like $100, like $120, I'd totally buy the thing. But it's like a special collector's edition. Like day one, it comes with like cool little like figurines and stuff, like all the little characters.
There's nothing cool about that. Why are you saying it when they come with cool little? That's not cool.
I want the Metal Gear Solid board game so bad.
Dude, will you honestly drop over $100 on this board game, man?
If I had like $100 to drop on it, I totally would.
Okay, but why are you shaking your head yes on the podcast? Oh, you don't want the wife to hear you.
Well, I just said.
No,
I would totally do it.
But you're saying I would totally do it, but you're like shaking your head. Yeah,
I've already done it.
I'm going to do. Dude, you're horrible,
I've already
Garrett.
done it. Trudy doesn't know.
Yeah, dude. Now the truth comes out. There you go. You just got called on the carpet, buddy.
She would know because it's only available on Amazon. She'd see that in the orders real quick. Like, what is this thing you pre-ordered on Amazon? $100, huh? Okay.
only imagine the heat in your house, dude. You have to turn that AC up.
No, but it's seriously, it's like to the point where like every other ad is this Metal Gear board game. I'm like, I get it. I want you so bad. I can't right now. I'm sorry. Like I like start talking to my phone. Like, I'm so sorry. I have to do this to you. And I scroll past it, and then it comes back again. I'm like, I told you already. Okay, like not right now. Later.
Yeah. See, I would be
text me later.
I would be all over it if I was into that game. Like, I mean, $100 is an investment, and it's something that you can play with your. Oh yeah, you don't have any. But I mean, if you did what? I'm just saying, if you did, well, your cousins, right? You could.
I have friends now. When I was 15, I didn't have friends, but I have friends now.
Garrett, I made the mistake of saying that. Man, we run a podcast together, like. We're best friends. You said we're coworkers. You stopped me real short. And you said,
we're not.
We're
friends.
coworkers. I'm like,
we're not friends.
I thought we were like best friends. And you said coworkers, best coworkers. And I'm like, I'm kind of a little hurt. I'm not gonna lie. And I know I'm bringing that up on the podcast again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well. Let's move on to the next story, shall we?
All right.
Okay. The next one. Paul Rudd joins the Ghostbusters 2020 crew. Dude, exclusive.
Dude, he's joining everything right now. Paul Rudd's the man.
Apparently, before the show, JJ had this imaginary conversation with me where he thought Paul Rudd was joining the Office reboot. I'm like, first of all, The Office isn't getting rebooted, and Paul Rudd I don't think would be a part of it.
Okay, but I don't know where I came up with that. I got to put the vape pen down because I was just making stuff up. I'm like, didn't we have that conversation? And you're like, we never had that conversation.
Like, you were like 100% positive. Like, no, dude, we did. Like, you were almost getting like upset with me. I'm like, I would like bet my firstborn child we've never had that conversation. Like, first of all, that's not a thing. Office is not getting rebooted. As far as I know, I've never read an article on it. I was like, and Paul Rudd, I don't think would be a part of it, but
I don't know where
it's so funny. You were so adamant.
Garrett,
like, man, he's doing everything nowadays.
I honest to God have no clue where the heck that came from.
He was in Avengers, I guess, but
yeah, he was Ant-Man, of course, and in all the last few Avengers movies, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Paul Rudd is awesome.
He's great.
He's been in so many great movies. I think the first time I ever saw him in a movie was Clueless. Okay. He was Josh, the stepbrother to Alicia Silverstone in Clueless, and it was a great character. He's so funny and self-deprecating, and he's just amazing. He was also in one of my favorite movies with Jason Segel. I love you, man.
Jason what?
Segel. Segel? Jason Segel. He was in How I Met Your Mother. No, that's Steven Seagal. He's a cop in Alaska or something.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Don't correct me, boy. Just run with it.
I was just throwing stuff at you, trying to trip you up. Paul Rudd is in final negotiations to join Sony's latest installment of Ghostbusters. Sources tell Variety Rudd will play a teacher in the film. Carrie Coon is also in talks for the not-so-secret project, along with Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard and Gifted star McKenna Grace.
In case you guys didn't know which one of the actors from Stranger Things is, Finn plays the role of Mike.
Yes.
And you're welcome, Garrett, that I told you that.
It's a good thing I told you that before the show. That way you...
Pretty sure I told you that.
I don't know. What I'm interested in is what will his role look like? They said Paul Rudd's coming in to play a teacher. Is that just going to be like a cameo appearance, or is that going to be like more fleshed out? Like, is he going to be kind of like Sherpaing these kids through this journey almost? Like, guys, I'm just curious how big of a role he's going to play.
I hope to God that it's not just some cameo thing. I think that if they're asking him to be a part of it, they're probably putting him in the lead character role as far as maybe being the one that's teaching them everything, teaching them the ropes. Maybe he has learned from the Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson characters. I could totally see him being the one that's like mentoring them and teaching them the ropes. So that's kind of the role I'm hoping for.
The only thing is, like, I think it doesn't say in this article, but there's been talks that some of the original guys are coming back to be in the movie as well, at least one or two of them. They've been in talks anyways.
So the scripts haven't been like totally finalized then?
As far as I can tell from the news stories I've read.
Which is crazy because they're saying 2020.
2020, yeah.
So, I mean, they really got to get on it and start this casting process.
It says they plan on shooting the film later this summer. So in the next couple of months, they'll probably start filming. So I feel like they have to have some script down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious if he's going to be kind of like an actual like mentor character, like through the entire film, or if he's just going to be more like, hey, they have like maybe 2 or 3 scenes in this classroom with him there or something. But yeah. I mean, getting such a big name like Paul, I mean, he's a big name now because of like Avengers and stuff. He's a bigger name. He's already a big name, even bigger. I feel like they have to give him something. Like he can't just be a cameo, but you also never know. Like they in the 2016 Ghostbusters, they had some weird like random cameos, like even just
so that's actually what I was just going to ask you. So I'm actually really, really excited about Paul Rudd and excited about the Ghostbusters movie. About the other Ghostbusters, the female version. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
And was it that bad in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, and it had, I think, yes, it was terrible. It was a terrible movie. It wasn't funny. It like the story, and I think my issue with it was, I feel like it was written poorly. Like, so nothing against even like the actresses. Like all the actresses in there are like they're incredible. Hilarious. They're hilarious. They're incredible. Yeah. They have other great works. I think it was very poorly written and very poorly directed. I'm not sure who the writers and directors were on that, but whoever they were just didn't do a great job capturing what they thought they were capturing. It's like they had an idea in their head and what they ended up filming was not what they thought. It's one of those things where it just translated so differently to what actually came out of it. And I'm like, oh, like every joke fell flat. And I don't know, even the story of it was just so like Ghostbusters is outlandish. Like that's kind of the point of it. It's goofy, silly, ghost busting fun. But it's like, oh no, this is like, I don't know, it's like so off the wall and so ridiculous that it's just like, it was just seemed like it was just like, I don't feel like I need to watch this. Like this story isn't like, doesn't have any consequence to it or something. It's just so like, it was almost like a cartoon, like a live action cartoon essentially is what it felt like.
Yeah, I really hope that they don't make the same mistakes with this one that they did with that one. And then hopefully they got a really good script. Ivan Reitman is at the helm. So
Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But still, yeah. Keeping it in the family, like I think this has a lot better chance. So according to this, Jason Reitman is co-writing the screenplay with Gil Keenan, which I'm kind of curious what Gil Keenan has done before. He I don't think this is the right one. Do you know what Gil Keenan's written before or no?
Yeah, he did a Pizza Hut commercial back in '98.
You're so terrible.
What?
I think you said that for everything.
No, it was a really great Pizza Hut commercial.
Gil Keenan was a director for Monster House, which is like that kid's cartoon. He was a director of Poltergeist. Excuse me, the 2015 Poltergeist. He was a director of the 2008 City of Ember. He was a writer for... He's never written anything. The only 2 movies he's written are in pre-production. Well, A Boy Called Christmas is in post-production, set to come out next year. And Ghostbusters 2020 is in pre-production. So he's only directed stuff. So yeah, Scream, the TV series. He did 1 episode, Poltergeist, City of Ember, and Monster House. So he doesn't have a ton under his belt. But... I don't know, all halfway decent stuff. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, so that's that. Paul Rudd coming to Ghostbusters. Yeah. It's exciting to get some big names into the Ghostbusters.
I'm excited. There's probably going to be more before the dust settles. But you know what I got confused on is that Ivan Reitman is producing. So
so he will still have a hand in it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
What's up, everybody? Today's episode of Super Gamer Boys is brought to you by Podcoin. Do you like listening to the Super Gamer Boys? Of course you do. It's the greatest podcast of all time. Well, the Podcoin app pays you to listen to the podcast and every podcast. It's the podcast player that pays. Just get the Podcoin app on the iPhone or Android. It's free and super easy to use. You can use the Podcoin you earn to claim gift cards or to donate it to charity. It literally is amazing. It turns your podcast listening into charity. Or if you like, just get some Amazon or Starbucks gift cards. I use it all day while I'm working doing pest control around people's houses, and it makes my life so much easier. I use the Podcoin app to do all of my podcast listening now, and I love it. Go get it on the App Store or Android today. Seriously, just go get the Podcoin app and use invite code GAMERBOYS. That's GAMERBOYS, GAMERBOYS. You'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use my code. There's 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use the code GAMERBOYS. Go give the Podcoin app a try today.
Alrighty, guys, let's get into new releases here. This last week, we had Stranger Things 3, The Game. Came out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That came out the same day the season came out on Netflix, which my wife and I started it 4th of July, and we finished it. So that was a Thursday. We finished it Saturday afternoon. So in like 3 days.
No spoilers, Garrett. No spoilers.
Through. Such a good season.
Was it really great? It looks phenomenal.
It's up there. So my ranking before was like I loved season 1 way better than season 2. So I would not. Season 2 was still incredible, but I would say like season 1, season 2 was my ranking. I'm still thinking about it, but season 3 might beat out season 1 for my favorite. Like that's how good this one was. Like it was one of those things where like there's points where it was so tense. Like my wife and I were both just like, oh my gosh. Like we were just like clenching our fists and our teeth and just like, oh, what's going to happen? Like we got so nervous like watching this season. Like there's so much good tension building. So many like they just nailed like those emotional points too. Like there's points where it's just like, no way. Like you just like feel a tear welling up, or in my wife's case, she's sobbing on the other couch. Like
wow.
She straight up was just like crying, like losing it on the couch, and I'm just like, oh man, like I'm getting all misty eyed. I'm like, this is hard. This is tough stuff. Like there's just some really good moments in this season from beginning to end. So okay.
Can you answer this without ruining anything?
I'll try.
Is it open? Is there more to come? Is there a potential for a close on this? I mean, is it like it could be either way? I haven't watched it. I plan on watching it. My wife is worried I'm going to try to watch it without her.
So, okay. I don't know what to say here because I don't want to...
You don't want to ruin anything.
Because if I say, yeah, they wrap it up, like to some people that might ruin it. If I say, hey, there's more to it, like I don't want to...
Could you say it could go either way?
But by saying that, I feel like... I don't know.
Okay. So then forget I asked the question. When you edit this out, just forget.
How about this? Everyone, like, skip forward 1 minute from now, and I'm going to talk. Hey, I'm not going to actually.
You're going to ruin it for me, right?
I'm not talking spoilers. I'm just literally going to answer your question very, very generally, because I know some people are sensitive to even considering that a spoiler. I wouldn't consider this a spoiler. All right. But so from right, when I say now, you're going to skip ahead a minute. So right now. Okay. So they definitely leave it open for another season. But
that's good.
It's not in the way you think.
Sure.
So that's where I'm like, oh man, like
questionable.
Is it like I don't know how. Like they very much left it open for another season, but I'm like, but how? Like they left some things and wrapped up other things. I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they totally could. So
I look forward to it. Yeah. I look forward to it. The wife has been worried about me trying to skate. Trying to
get ahead and watch without her.
I made a joke about trying to watch some without her, and she got legitimately mad at me. And I was like, I was just kidding. I'm not going to watch it without
you. You have to watch it. It's such a good season. It's so good. And then the other game that came out this last week was for the Nintendo Switch version of What Remains of Edith Finch. So that was a PlayStation Plus free game a couple months ago, but it's just new to the Nintendo Switch now. So that's pretty cool. That was one we both enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about it a little while ago. It is a really great game, and it's one of those like indie games that you said like aren't worth anything, and they're like stupid cheap.
That you said aren't worth anything. Yeah,
what?
I know, right?
I never.
No, it's a good one. It's not your typical like action. You don't expect like an action game or a horror game even. It's very much a story driven. Some call it a walking simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kind of like walking through stories and so like these different dreams or memories or whatever. But it's such a good story. And there is some like puzzle based stuff. There is some just like, you're still using controller for something like you were talking about, like, climbing the tree or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that was like so crazy, like jumping around through the tree and stuff, chasing the bird or whatever.
Okay,
like,
I've come up with the first person walking simulator game. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm gonna make us rich.
Well, that's what Remains of Edith Finch is, the first person.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm coming up with my own idea.
Okay.
Pest control. So here's the thing: you're getting to a house, you're knocking on the door. Okay, you're talking with a rude customer. You're going around the house, knocking down spider webs, dealing with spiders and roaches coming up out of the cracks, stepping over dog poo, and then having the customer yell at you. And I see so much potential and fun in this game.
Sounds great. I just can't wait to play that one. Oh,
Right.
wait, that's my everyday life. I play that game every day.
Every day.
And it sucks. No. And some other new games. So as we mentioned, PlayStation Plus games are Detroit Become Human, Horizon Chase Turbo, and then Xbox games with gold. They had Inside, Big Crown Showdown, Rivals of Aether, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Meet the Robinsons. Based off the hit movie Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons. Was that a new game? Or was this one of the games?
No, it came out like it was a 360 game back
I remember
in, like,
they
10,
had this
15, based off the movie.
They had the GameCube game of the same thing, I think, as well.
I think it came out on like, I think it came out on all the consoles, but yeah. So it's based off it's a movie tie-in from like 10, 15 years ago.
I love that movie. That movie's a lot of fun.
The movie was fine, but video game back then, like video games based on movies were never good. So I'm like, Xbox, really? This is your offering this month? Castlevania Symphony of the Night, like that's a great game. I wish that would have come out on PlayStation. It'd be awesome. But Meet the Robinsons, like, oof. Cool. Well, what you been playing?
Oh, dude, I've been playing a little bit of Last of Us because my buddy had never seen it before, and I was telling him, like, oh my gosh, the story is amazing. So I popped it in. My buddy Brent was there, and we were just playing some Last of Us, and I let him play a little bit. And even though I've beaten the game before, I couldn't get past a certain area. No matter what I was doing, I was getting destroyed over and over and over again by clickers. That's the zombies in this game. And they just kept getting me over and over and over again. And I just told them, it's because you're here, dude. You're like a bad luck charm. And then the other thing...
There's a few parts in that game that are super hard. Like, yeah. I definitely had that too, where there's like quite a few moments where... like that's why that was one of those games that took me a long time to beat, because I would get so frustrated. I would die over and over. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I'd take a break for a month, and then I'd go back after a month and then like beat it first try. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I did differently, but that's all I needed was just like a week or 2 weeks or something. There's one point I literally took a break for a month, and I was just like, I got so frustrated. But then you beat it, and you're like, oh, why didn't I figure that out before?
Well, and dude, that happened to me so many times with this game, because I've gone through little spurts. I love this game so much, and I can't wait for part 2 to come out.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just one of those games that it is so difficult, but the tension and the anxiety is so high in some of those moments where you're like, I can't make any noise. I got to scoot past this or throw something to get the attention of one of the clickers elsewhere so I can scoot past. And they space out their NPCs really, really well.
Yeah.
Like they're just overrun.
You feel the tension for sure.
So you get anxious, and I think that causes you to not think.
I think there are so many times where finally I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm just running. I'm just going for it. I think it's just like, screw it.
That's
like,
it works.
It works. only if there's like a door that you can jump through or something, shut the door
Right.
quick. If there's no door, like they catch up to you real quick. But if you can just like bolt it and get through a door quick, like that'll work. But there's a couple times I did it and hoping there's a door there and then there wasn't. I'm like, oh no, I'm done.
I had the hardest time a few months ago. I was playing Last of Us and I was playing it over and over and over again. I kept I'd play for a couple of days, 20 minutes at a time, 25 minutes at a time. And I couldn't get past this spot. And after doing it for a while, I finally just got pissed. I stopped playing it for a little bit, came back a month later and played it and did exactly what you said. It was like I just said, screw it, and I ran. And when I did, I was able to run right through. And it was like, why didn't I go right then, like before? I never even thought about trying to do it like that. And the running away helped and made it work.
Yeah.
The other game that I was able to play this week, we blew the dust off the old Nintendo Wii, hooked it up in the living room, and we started playing the new Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Wii. And dude, that is a lot of fun. We've been having a blast getting back into Mario, man. It's like Mario is so great, and it's a fun family game. Like we're all playing together, and
you could do 4 players on that one too. I think that is so much fun. Like all 4 people bopping around their bubbles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And in fact, I'm probably going to play a little bit of that tonight when I get home.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I've been, as I mentioned before, watching the Stranger Things 3. I recommend everyone needs to go watch that. Like, if you haven't seen the earlier seasons, like, watch those 2. Like, everything's on Netflix. It's all there. Like, every season is incredible. That's the most incredible thing about Stranger Things is there hasn't been a bad season. Like, they've had 3 seasons, and out of all 3 of those seasons, there's maybe one episode that is just like, oh, why? Like, there's only one bad episode, and even then, it's not like bad. It's just like doesn't really have a ton to do with the story. At least I didn't feel like. And we've talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it in a previous episode. We definitely talked about it last week though before we recorded. But like, so they're like, 10 for 10 in my book for whatever rating scale I'm using. Like they've never had a bad season, a bad episode. Like it's just such a good show. Like go watch season 1, season 2, season 3's killer. It gets you. That's real emotional. It's real tense. It's just like it's just a roller coaster the whole way. So definitely go check that out. Hopper's the man. I saw it trending all over Twitter. Everyone's freaking out over. They're like Hopper's outfit and Stranger Things season 3 is the style of the summer now. Like it's everyone's like because he ends for like one of the first times ever in the series he's out of his police uniform. He's wearing like just jeans and like this Hawaiian print like short sleeve shirt or something. And it's just like, oh yeah, I can get behind that. I can get behind the Hopper style there. Like it's pretty awesome. But the other thing I've been playing is Super Mario Maker 2. So I am in love with this game on the Nintendo Switch. I never played the first one on the Wii U. I only heard incredible things about it. So knowing this was coming out, and I know I talked about this last episode because it came out a couple weeks ago, but I've just been having such a blast with the story mode and the user created levels, like levels that are made by like everyone else, which is the coolest thing about this game. Is like it's a never ending game. Even after I beat the story mode, there's millions of other people who are building levels for me, essentially. I can just go on there and pick the sort it by most popular because you can give it thumbs up or thumbs down. Like, I want the best levels out there. You click that button and it just goes on. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of levels that have been made just in the last 2 weeks.
Have you created any levels that others are voting on?
So that's what I've been doing the last week. So that first week it was out, I played the story mode so I can get back to, you and the listeners. But now the last week, I've jumped into that creator mode. And let me tell you, there's quite a big learning curve there. It's not like you can just jump in and just, I'm going to make a level and like knock a level. I mean, some people do. I had a buddy who over Twitter, he was like, hey, not to me directly. He's like, hey, should I buy this game? I really want to get this game. And I just responded back like, treat yourself, man. Like, get it, do it. I need more levels to play. That's what I told him. I was like, I need more levels to play and I need you to make them. He literally bought it, and I think like the next day had like a level created and sent it to me. I worked on a level for like 6 days. And it's like not near the caliber of level that he came up with in like less than a day. But man, it's been so much fun. Once you learn the tools, how to use them, once you learn all the different options you have available to you, the way it's set up is first you jump in and you get to choose what art style you want. So you can choose either Super Mario Brothers art style, Super Mario Brothers 2, or not 2. 2's not in there. Super Mario Brothers 1, 3, Super Mario World, and then New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, which is similar to art style to the Wii version and stuff. And then there's like a bonus one. You can also do Super Mario 3D World, which is a Nintendo 3DS game.
It's exciting to see everybody so passionate about Super Mario Brother or Mario Maker 2 right now, because it has taken everything over by storm. Like everybody's talking about it. My younger brother just bought for my nephew a Switch earlier today, right before the podcast.
Oh, nice.
And so he called me right away, so my nephew could, show off to Uncle that he got a Switch and that he got Mario Maker 2. So
that's awesome.
My brother
such a good game.
is so excited at the prospect of being able to build levels for my nephew who's going to turn 4 soon. He's like, he's young, but I can make levels that are appropriate for his age things that he can have fun with. And one of the things that he came up with in his description to me was, he was like, let's say instead of falling off a cliff and dying, it's falling off a cliff through a tube and then you're back to the beginning. So you're not actually dying, you're just back to where you started, so you learn through stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, that's genius. It sounds like such a fun, interesting idea. And then be able to play everybody else's creations. That's great.
It's so great. So you get to choose your art style, and then each art style has obviously specific like items and enemies and all this stuff. And man, it was such a blast to make that level, as much as it like killed me. Like I spent so much time on it. Like it was almost every night the last week. Like Trudy would be like, "Oh, you want to play some games or whatever?" Because Apex Season 2 came out.
Wait a second. Okay, I want to call BS right now. You're telling me that your wife walked over and said, "Hey, do you want to play some games right now?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, honey, I'd love to play right now." Wait.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem real. I feel like you're making it up, or you're trying to make fun of me right now.
I have wife of the year, baby.
It sounds like it. Trudy, you're amazing.
Wife of the lifetime.
If that's really true,
I married, numero uno wife. You can't find a better one. But no, so yeah, it's been like one of those things where like she'll watch a show. So she's watching her show on the TV because with the Switch, I can just pop it out of the dock. I can sit on the couch and still be watching the show with her while I'm making my level. So it's like we're still hanging out and still there together, but I'm sitting there working on my Mario level and she's watching her show, and I worked on it so much. And then I finished it Saturday.
And our grandparents used to sit on the porch and pluck the banjo and spit tobacco, and the other one would be crocheting. And it could be Grandpa doing that and Grandma doing the spitting tobacco.
There,
yeah, you never know.
But I finished it. Was it Saturday or Sunday now? I don't remember. I think might have been actually yesterday. But I showed it to her and she's just like, "Oh, wow. Like, that's really good." Like she was like shocked. Like I played through it for her. And she's like, "That actually looks really good. Like you can actually tell you spent time working on that. Like it's not just garbage level." I'm like, "Oh wow, like, that's awesome. That's cool. Thanks, babe." Like she is.
Wait, did you happen to be looking her in the face? Was she rolling her eyes when she said that?
I was actually looking at the screen when she said that, so I don't know what she.
You have no idea.
But no, it was just so cool. And then to be able to share it with my buddies, because me and my buddies on Twitter have just been sharing it back, our levels. Like he's been sharing his levels, I've been sharing mine. My one level, and they're like just to have people, even the random people, because I just did hashtag Super Mario Maker 2, and people are just searching the hashtags for levels to play. So there's some random dude, I don't even know who he is. He's like, "Dude, this was a really good level. Good job." Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, dang, for my first level ever, I'm feeling pretty awesome.
Pretty great.
Here.
So what kind of things did you, obviously you'd have to describe it, but what kind of things did you go with in your level?
So I did Super Mario World themed because that's the best Mario game ever.
You talking about from Super Nintendo, the original?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World.
Oh, okay.
Which is I think it's the best Mario game, 2D Mario game. And then it starts out Haunted Mansion. You go through, you got to collect some items to get through, to enter a room to get into a pipe. Once you get in the pipe, it takes you to another area Bowser's Castle lava level where immediately the screen starts scrolling automatically. So it's kind of like pushing you, forcing you, like so you have to keep up with it.
That's always a good, fun aspect of the game.
And the lava is starting to rise, and you have to try to like outrun the lava and everything. It's pretty good. And there's like obstacles you have to jump through and items you got to grab. And if you don't grab them in time or you accidentally knock in the lava, then that's it. You're done. Like you have to start the whole level over again. Like it's pretty unforgiving. And then you get all the way to the end. And I think I put it in the description. I'm like, choose your path wisely. You get all the way to the end of the Bowser's Castle, and then there's 2 pipes. And you have to decide which one's the right pipe. And I'm not going to spoil what the pipes do, but
nice.
You gotta choose, and one's good, one's bad. You don't know which one's which.
Oh man!
So yeah.
That sounds fun, dude. And
That's
so what I expect from you is tomorrow bring your Switch, so I can look at it.
I have it here in the studio with me right now. You don't even know it.
Oh,
but
dude,
I got it.
That's amazing.
So maybe once we're done recording, I'll let you.
I can touch it.
Run through it in quotes.
You're gonna hold it and make me watch it.
No, you can play. It literally. So when I showed my wife the level at first, I like ran through it first try. I'm like, check this out, blah 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 blah, because I made it. I know it, right? Well, when you go to upload it to the internet, you have to play it again to prove that it's winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that way people can't make impossible levels and upload it. I literally spent like an hour and a half
trying to beat your own level.
Dying. And Trudy's like, you either gotta like take it out, because I had it on the TV at this point. She's like, you either got to like take that in handheld mode and like turn off the sound, or like go to the other room or mute the TV, because like the sound,
of hearing it
the music, and then like the dying sounds. Like every time Mario dies, she was like losing her mind. She's like, you have to stop.
So, do you also lay out the music, or is it just the same music for every?
You can choose. Every like area, like if you pick the mansion theme as like the haunted like ghost theme, mansion theme, if you choose like just the standard like level, like it has some themed music. You can add different sound effects and like music in certain areas if you want to. Like say it's about ready to get to a boss fight, I can put in the boss fight music that it does. So there's a little bit of playability with that, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, it's an incredible game. So last week I gave the story mode 10 out of 10. This week the maker mode, it's 10 out of 10. Like it's so much stinking fun.
Very cool. So we'll be cutting the podcast short today, so we can go ahead and play a little bit of Switch.
Yeah. And if you want to play my level, I actually tweeted it out. Go to @SuperGamerBoys on Twitter or @GMorling on Twitter, and has the code on there. You just type in the 9-digit code, and it lets you play my level. So.
That's amazing. Folks, if you're listening, please go play his level and then get back to him and tell him how great it is.
Heck yeah.
Or how much it sucks. Like one of the other.
It's my first level.
No, we just want
to go easy on
I'm
me.
just kidding. We would love to hear the feedback, because that would be awesome.
And I'll try to put it out on Instagram and Facebook too, but right now it's just on Twitter. But alrighty.
Maybe we could put me playing that level for the first time and beating it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. That'd be so awesome.
Only if we want a YouTube video, it's going to be like 3 hours long.
Dude,
that's live stream material, maybe.
That hurts.
People can come and go as they please.
What are you saying?
Alrighty, let's do the question of the show. What do you think of that?
All right. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting big.
Thinking big?
I said I've been waiting big, because the question of the show is one of my favorite bits. Okay. I love the hypotheticals. I love the deep thinking. I love just being able to come up with stuff where we think outside of the box, Garrett.
Okay. Well, this is one of those questions a little bit. It comes from Brent Fox. Thank you, Brent Fox. What movie or TV show would you like to see rebooted, and who would be the stars?
Oh, dude, everything's already been rebooted. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. Like everything's already been rebooted.
Yeah, actually, it's a great question. Okay, so in reiterating what you just said, you're saying what movie or TV show would you like to see a reboot of, and who would be the stars? From Brent Fox.
That's what I said.
Right, I'm just reiterating, and I'm trying to think it through. Do you already have an answer?
I do have an answer. I have a couple here.
Okay.
You want me to go first? Okay.
Please. It gives me a chance to steal.
Okay. Yeah, steal my stinking ideas.
I know
before the show, we were like, do you want to talk about them? And I'm like, nope, because you're going to steal it.
And that's totally not accurate from who I am.
So here's my answer. I want them to reboot the Transformers movie franchise. Okay, because they
just did that. I think
the new movies weren't a reboot. Like they were just new. They were movies. So I think they should reboot it, start over because they were all bad. They were terrible.
I thought Bumblebee was supposed to be pretty good.
I didn't hear great things about it, and I haven't seen it. But again, you never know.
I thought it had a pretty good reputation.
Why can't I think of the Metacritic? I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm kind of curious. 66, so barely passable.
That's good. I mean, it's not.
It's okay.
Still
I would
fresh.
say it's okay.
It's still
That's
fresh.
not fresh. 66, not fresh.
That's fresh. Pretty sure it's fresh.
Actually, okay. So Metacritic gave it 66, but Rotten Tomatoes has a 93%.
Oh, there you go.
Which
fresh.
is certified fresh. So
yeah, that's
apparently people are wrong. Anyways, Transformers movies. I think they need to redo it. Get rid of Shia LaBeouf. Get rid of what's his name in there? Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh no,
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's the one. I was like, I should know this.
I just like seeing you struggle. You started to sweat like immediately.
There was smoke coming out of my ears. Like my eyes rolled to the back of my head. Like, dude, what's going on here? Okay, so there's Shia LaBeouf, Tom Holland, the current Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah,
Tom
no. I
Holland
knew exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
I can actually see that. Tom Holland is
Good
on.
Tom Holland in there. He's doing great. He's hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the old Avengers back together. Let's get Chris Hemsworth in there.
Okay.
He's got that big tough guy. You know, he can play the action hero, whatever he needs to do. But he's also funny. Like I think because Transformers, like the first one was so good because it was like kind of funny. Like Shia LaBeouf was funny, and I mean Mark Wahlberg wasn't in the first one, but like to have that dynamic though between like the two actors and kind of keep it a little sillier. But then like I don't know, I think that'd be really cool.
That's actually great, and I'd watch that movie for sure.
Reboot Transformers.
There you go.
Tom Holland, Chris Hemsworth. Are you in?
I'm in. You asking if
I'm
they're
asking
in?
it because they listen to our show.
I'm in too.
Okay.
We could all be in together.
I'll help write it.
All right. So for me, if I were to reboot a TV show or a movie, there's only one movie that I would want to reboot. Even though I love the original, I wouldn't want it to be messed with, but I would love.
On three, we're gonna say it at the same time because I think I know what you're gonna say.
You have no clue what I'm
Okay.
going to say.
1, 2, 3.
Never any story.
Gremlins.
You know what? I probably would want
A reboot of Gremlins?
A reboot of Gremlins. Why not? It was freaking awesome.
I'm gonna. That's my next answer now. That literally just popped in my head. So my other two answers I had prepared before the show, but while I was talking, I'm like, oh, Gremlins would be really cool too. Only because I'm a Gremlins nerd. Go ahead.
You are.
Neverending Story. That's a good one too.
Yeah, you are a Gremlins nerd. Have you ever seen a Neverending Story?
Forever ago, but yeah.
Okay, it is.
I haven't seen it recently, but yeah, when I was a kid, I watched it.
It came out in 1984. It is one of those movies that.
Yeah, back when I was alive and a kid.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I absolutely love that movie. It's one of those like great movies that you, as a small child, remember how great it was and awesome and colorful and everything else, and then you go to watch it when you're an adult and you're like, oh, it's a lot cheaper and cheesier than you remember, but it's still got those nostalgic, moments.
You need to watch more of Stranger Things season 3.
Is Neverending Story in it? Oh no. Okay.
I'm not gonna say any more other
right.
than you need to continue watching it because I think you'll really enjoy one part.
Okay. All right,
really, really enjoy it.
All right. Very cool.
I died laughing. It's very good.
Okay. Yeah. So I would see. Well, it's funny that you brought up Stranger Things 3 because in casting somebody to be the character Atreyu, which is the main character.
Atreyu is. I'm an idiot.
Okay. Well, I love some of the ideas. I've not always been the biggest fan of taking a major character and saying, okay, let's update it and now put in a random black guy, or let's put in a female in that lead. But I really like the idea of taking a really hot actress right now by the name of Bobby Brown, who played 11, and having her in the role of Atreyu, being the hero in the story. And I could see her, man, she's just such a great little actress. And I think that would be a lot of fun watching her, go through the swamps and flying on the, the big dog. I think
I think that's the only thing I remember from that movie is just the scene where he's just riding on the back and like the fur just floating through the air because it's all like a big puppet and it's basically like Muppet.
Yeah, it's such a great story, and I could see her doing a wonderful job in the reboot of that. So. Hey, folks, Hollywood, get on it. You're welcome.
Get on it. I didn't expect you to have two things, but I have one more thing. Other than Gremlins, I think Gremlins would be good. I'd love to see a new Gremlins movie because the first one, it's a banger. But my one I had prepared was the 90s classic TV series. Ran from 97 to 2001. Called The Angry Beavers from Nickelodeon.
I've never heard of that.
It was The Angry Beavers. It was ran for how many seasons? 4 seasons over 6 years. Apparently. Wow, that's crazy. 94, 97, 98, 99. There's a big jump in there. Dude, that show was so hilarious. That was one of those shows where like back in the day, like my parents would like it. They loved it so much. Like it had that humor. I mean, all the Nickelodeon shows at that point did. Everything.
Modern Life.
Yeah.
There was
like,
lots of great stuff.
Like Cat Dog. Like everything was just like very much like it was stupid enough for the kids, but had like that smart adult humor for the adults. Like, that was when our family would sit around and watch for hours. We loved that. Like watching that Nickelodeon. I don't know who I'd have a star in it. Like, I'd love to get the original guys back, but I just would love a reboot or like even just like, not even a reboot, but just like just a new season. I want like a couple new seasons of The Angry Beavers because it was such a hilarious show.
Well, sweet. I actually have a second option as well. So yeah, I brought it out of the
Gremlins.
It's Gremlins. no, you're really pushing this dang Gremlins thing, kid. All right, so actually one of my favorite movies. It got Marissa Tomei a Best Actress award, My Cousin Vinny. So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny, but it's Joe Pesci.
You've talked about it before, but I have not seen it.
Joe Pesci ends up, his 2 cousins end up going into like Alabama and being framed for murder. And Vinny, he just became a lawyer, but having no court experience or anything, comes down this colorful little Italian in this redneck town and has to like get in front of like an old redneck judge and all. It's a great, great story. So going along the same theme of taking a different fish out of water into this, I would say instead of Joe Pesci and the little Italian guy, Kevin Hart.
Ralph Macchio in it.
Yes, it does. He's one of the cousins. In fact, he's the cousin who's arrested.
Okay.
So I think Kevin Hart would be awesome in that fish out of water. He's just became a lawyer, has no real lawyer experience, and has to go and like defend his cousins who are, arrested and charged with murder in this little redneck town. Dude, that would be awesome. That would be fun.
That'd be good.
And here's the thing. Now that I've said that out loud, look for this to actually become a movie soon. This will happen.
I don't know about that.
I suppose.
I think that's a great idea, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. That seems a little. Do you think there's a big enough cult following of My Cousin Vinny to do a reboot of it?
You'd be surprised.
Interesting.
I was giving you good pod right now. I was nodding my head yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. People can't hear you nod your head. But
yes, they can. We have a connection, me and the people.
Okay. They just know. That's scary. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. If you haven't already, go check us out at patreon.com/supergamerboys. Please support us because
we need the support.
Yeah, because I want this show to get bigger and better. And at this point, we can only get so big at this point with the budget we have. So keep supporting us so we can get even better. We're already big. We just need to get better now.
We are huge.
Actually, no, we're already better. We just need to get bigger. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's the other way around. We're pretty amazing, if I may say so myself.
We are pretty amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't already as well, go over and review us on iTunes. Find us Super Gamer Boys. Just do a search there. Leave us 5 stars. Leave us a review. That helps so much. You can also find us at supergamerboys.com, at supergamerboys on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ's on Twitter at
JJ Purdom.
Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics or facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. I got to show you those sticker designs. They're pretty slick. I was just going to say,
remember from earlier on, he was talking about the stickers and pasties that Star Andrews has made. What?
Look forward to those. I can't wait till we get some merch out there. She's working hard. Like, she's working so hard on stuff. Like, she keeps sending me updates and questions and pictures. I'm just like, oh, I'm so stoked to get some cool merch out there. Like, I feel like that's the next step. Once we get merch out there, then we've made the big time. We're gonna
blow up, and we're gonna have to have you guys pre-order the stuff, because she's gonna have to start X-Acto knifing a lot of that stuff, like post haste. Yeah. She's gonna work around the clock.
Cutting out all those stickers. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys. It's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome.
Oh, I like what you did there. That was good. Yeah. You put those 2 words together.
I made that up myself. Totally original.
I think I said the same thing a couple of episodes ago, but that's fine.
That's fine. No one remembers that long ago, anyways.
They really don't.
And we will catch you all on the flip.
Next time we do a show.